Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to some of the world's biggest stars and some of my favourite people. And we've got one for you today. Sam Bailey, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
It's lovely to see you again. And here we are in the Dorchester. Who'd have thought? The girl who was on X Factor, who years ago was having to do the clubs and all that, is sat in one of the most glorious hotels, probably in the same room where Michael Jackson dangled out of all those years ago.
Yeah, he had a balcony. I don't think I've got a balcony. I'm not that famous. But yeah, I'm lucky to be here. This is a great hotel. And it's a very special event, so slightly nervous, not going to lie, but nerves are good. So
how do you cope with it? You woke up this morning after a night of not sleeping, or did you just put it out of your mind? When did you consider that journalists from around the world are coming today to decide whether you can still sing, whether your new album's any good, and whether you've got a future in show business?
I got back in last night from a gig about 1:30 in the morning, and my daughter was wide awake, screaming, 2-year-old. So she was wide awake downstairs. We were singing nursery rhymes. I didn't really think about it, and then we had to try and get her to go to bed because my mind's all over the place, and she's in our bed because she's not seen me, so she wants to be in my bed. She was screaming until I got her in our bed. And so I didn't really get to think about it, but when I got up this morning, I was a bit stressed out, and this one was winding me up and kept on putting things in my bag. So I think he was.
When you say this one, who are you referring to?
I'm referring to my husband. He kept on putting things in my bag, and I'd go back to the bag and find it, and I was saying, I didn't put that in there. And he's like, well, I didn't. I put it back in. I go back to my bag 2 seconds later and he's put it back in. And then I got on the train and I went to open my bag and he's put it back in again. And all it was is one of those plug adapters. And I went, you, like that. When I rang him, I was very annoyed with him.
Can we start this interview again? Because it's meant to be sex, drugs and sausage rolls, not rowing about children not sleeping and having to stay in the same bed.
That's normality. That's life, isn't it? So I'm not one of these people. The telly don't fit out the window. I've already tried.
Will you ever see yourself as a star? Because you see yourself as a mum, don't you? That's what you are, and a wife, and a friend, and a sister, and all that stuff before any of this. That's why I think people love you, because you're so real.
I don't know why anything should change me. I think the only thing that's changed is I've got a little bit more money in my purse every now and again, and I get to do some pretty special things. I think that's the only thing that's changed. My feet are firmly on the ground, and I still do normal stuff. I still shop at Primark. So, you know, I'm not going to lie, it's a normal thing for me to do every summer, is to go and get my kids some clothes for the summer holidays so that they don't ruin nice clothes in the summer holidays. These are all things that, you know, I've been relatively normal, and I like to stick to that.
I've interviewed enough stars that they say it's not me who changes, it's those around you that change. Did you ever encounter that people suddenly started treating you different because they thought you're that winner off X Factor?
Yeah, and there's a bit of an expectancy as well. Like, there are a lot of people that there's automatically, your friends are the ones that you support. Even my brother, like, when he's come to see me sing, like, he just, can I have like 4 tickets to come along? No, buy them. Because you're supporting me if you buy a ticket. You're not supporting me if you turn up, because I don't get that. I don't really tend to ask for, if I'm going to go to a concert that a famous person, I'll try and buy the ticket and then, you know, see if I can see them afterwards or whatever. There's perks of that. But there are some people that have changed, and there's people that have been expecting of, because I'm a friend, I'll be able to go on all these things. And there's one thing I can't stand is when people come to things with me, but they get the phone out and they disappear with the selfies and trying to get... And I'm like, you've just used me to get a selfie with somebody else. So, like, I don't like that. I don't like that. I like people to be pretty cool around me. I should be the one that goes around with selfies. I'm the one that's a little bit of an idiot when it comes to celebrities and get all starstruck and everything. But, you know, I like people to be cool around me and not see me as being a celebrity, or not see the whole... And then I like to then disappear off somewhere, and then as soon as they're gone, like, I've just been out with Sam and tweeting it, you know, we've done this and everything, and it's like almost like they're showing off about being with me, and I don't want people to show off. I want people to be normal around me. And there has been a few arguments, I'm not going to lie, with people that and falling out, some people change, but I've not changed. I don't understand why it should. And you see all these like celebrities that have got like an entourage of 20 people. Well, that entourage of 20 odd people that's plucking your toenails and like cutting your toenails and plucking your eyebrows and stuff like that, they cost you money. So I'd rather spend that money on my kids than spend money on having an entourage of 20 people that don't really do a lot, just make you look good by having them there. I don't get it.
I can't remember who first said it, but they said it is show business. There is business in show, and if you get the second bit wrong, you're going to fail. And you have to always remember that it's all very well staying in the Dorchester, but somebody's got to pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. This is like, this is all costing money, and that's what I go out and graft for, and that's why I'm working, and that's why, we've got nice things, and that's why we go on nice holidays, and keeps people smiling, and that's why you do it.
I last saw you, 6-9 months ago in Nottingham at the Alea Casino, and it was this beautiful intimate room that they'd created.
It was lovely, yeah. I loved it there. It was a really good night as well. I loved performing there that night.
It's a lot of fun, and what was great though was seeing the reaction of you to your fans and your fans to you. I mean, they really dig you, don't they? They get it, they love it, and they want that big sound. I wondered at the end of it how you felt. Is it just a walk in the park now singing these songs? Because they're big and they're very loud, aren't they?
I think there's an art form to it, because I don't just sing songs, I perform a song. So when I go out on stage, I like people to sort of feel that emotion and sort of like know that it's come from the heart. And that's what I like to do. And my new album is full of songs that are from the heart, that I've written about life experiences. So people are going to get a little bit more of me. And I'm putting myself out there, which is quite a nervous thing to think about, when people listen to this new album, and especially the single Sing My Heart Out. It's my experiences, and I feel like I've got a connection with your everyday person. I don't see myself as being different to anybody else, and I think that's another reason why people like me.
I think one of the bravest things you did, I was doing warm-up one day for Loose Women, and there you were on the show after you'd been ill, and you came out and said, "This is me, deal with it." And it had an extraordinary reaction. I don't think I've ever seen a reaction like it, that people went, "Oh my God, she's coming on TV to tell us she's not well. She clearly looks different," and you embraced it instead of hiding away. Has that always been your way to sort of face things face on?
I think it's just a bravery, and I think it rubbed off on a lot of people, because I got a lot of people from the facial paralysis societies and charities and stuff, and people contacted me saying, "I've had Bell's palsy for so long and I don't go out, and I'm too frightened to go out." Bell's palsy is Bell's palsy. Deal with it. Get outside, do stuff. People will get used to it. Everybody's got their problems. Everybody's got insecurities. You're still alive. Go out and have fun. Laugh about it. I did. I took the mickey out of myself so much, because whenever I laughed, I looked like the scary movie mask. Like one side of my face was all sort of.
I don't think it was quite that bad, but I know what you're saying.
It was, and like the kids loved it, because every time I laughed, I couldn't move one side of my mouth, so it looked quite funny. But it was Halloween, and I was a pirate for a week, so my son didn't like a bandage over my eye, so I swapped it for a pirate's patch and became a pirate for a week. And then we went out for Halloween trick-or-treating. I was a dead pirate. So there's a little bit of creativity there from Sam Bailey. But yeah, it was, these things you have to do. And I think to see me on TV at my very worst, which I pretty much was, I was in agony and I couldn't shut my eye, and one side of my face was numb. For people to see that, it made people, and go, fair play. And that's what I wanted to do, and I achieved it.
How are you now?
I'm all right. I've lost a little bit of hearing in my left ear from nerve damage, but I'm still going strong. It's all good. It could come back any time. And it's a hormonal imbalance. It was just after I'd had Miley, and a lot of people that are teenagers get it. So I know it's weird, because it's like a bus. You wait around for a bus and you don't see a bus for ages, and then all of a sudden you get one and loads of them come. Like when you've had Bell's palsy, so many people come out the woodwork and say, "Oh, I've had that, I've had that, I've had that," but no one ever talks about it, and now people are talking about it, which is a good thing, because it's becoming more aware.
Well, I thought it was incredibly brave. And then I wonder what it feels like to wake up one day and see yourself on the front of the papers and be talked about. Does that ever become normal?
It's weird. Like I don't even know sometimes that I've been in the paper. If it weren't for my fantastic fans, like that screenshot it and tell me, or I wouldn't have a clue. I don't know. I've done that many interviews the last couple of days. I don't know where I'm going to be, or what paper or what radio station I'm going to be in. But as long as people know that I'm still around and I'm still going strong, that's the main thing.
You're about to embark on a new tour next year, and tomorrow you release the new single to the new album, which is extraordinary, and it sums up. Tell us the name of the song, because it really sums you up, doesn't it?
Sing My Heart Out is the name of the song. Basically, it's a song that tells people why I did the X Factor, and what I did it for, and why I do what I do. And it's a great song. It's a powerful song. There's a music video for it, in which my children and my husband are in. Total cheese, love a bit of cheese. But you know, I just want people to get the message, and I didn't want to do one of those like music videos where I'm looking out of a misty window with my hair blushing in the wind and the net curtains flying off somewhere, and then some, you know, naked man on the bed like with just his pants or something like that. I didn't want to do one of those sort of videos because it's not me. I wanted to show people my life, and by showing my husband's just telling me that I am total cheese. I am an absolute block of cheese. But, you know, I wanted people to see my life and see where I am now and how happy I am. And in the video, there's a choir, and my mum's in the choir, so she's just over my left shoulder. My aunt is in the choir. So it's just a big family affair, you know, and just goes to show how much we love, you know, music and how much I enjoy what I do. So
how do you regard your voice? Because I think it's stunning, and I truly believe you'll be one of those voices in 20 years' time we'll say, oh my God, she's one of the greatest voices ever to come out of England. How do you view yourself?
I don't really see myself as being a massive like singer. I look at Celine Dion and I'm like, and I met Celine Dion and she's just incredible, and I was like, I became a 6-year-old kid that had just seen their hero, you know what I mean? So I don't see myself as being, you know, that big. And when I listen to my music and stuff like that, I kind of, and this is being deadly honest, I kind of don't know what all the fuss about is sometimes. I really don't. I've been singing for that long that I've not just magically got this voice and come out of nowhere. People over the last couple of years have had a buzz about me, but I've been trying to get somewhere for 20 years, so I'm just doing what I've always done. So I don't see what the attraction is. I don't get it, but I'm glad that people like what I do, and I just want to carry on doing it for years to come, basically.
But you know you're a great singer, right? Or you're still questioning that?
I always say, in anything, I always say there's room for improvement in everything I do, because nobody's perfect. Nobody is the most famous. Celine Dion will listen to her CDs and she won't look at it and go, that's spot on. She won't say that. She'll always nitpick, and I always nitpick. If I could go back on the X Factor and do every single performance again, I would, because every single one I've looked at and gone, oh, I hate that bit, or I wish I'd have done that, or I hate that note, or so. Always room for improvement in no matter what you do. No job, any job.
I wonder whether this comes from the background of the clubs, because I mean, I'm from Nottingham, you're from Leicester, where you did most of your work around the Midlands, and there's nothing more humbling than having people sat reading The Sun or eating chips whilst you're trying to do your act.
Well, normally I was buying bingo tickets while I was doing my act for the next line of bingo. Normally, I've done a gig in a social club before now, and I had it like an hour set to do at the end after the bingo, and as soon as the bingo finished, everyone went, and I was left with like 4 people, and they made me do the show. I did like a full hour in a social club, and the only people was in there was a child of one of the bar staff, a guy that was drunk as a skunk in the corner, and the concert secretary, and some woman that was just sitting there thinking I was fantastic. So yeah, I should have been equity. It would have been under 10 people. I could have gone home, but sadly I wasn't, so I had to carry on doing it. I didn't see the point, but, you know, it's mad. Crazy.
It is insane, isn't it? I think the 2 lessons you learn in the North is don't interrupt the bingo or the buffet, because you won't win.
Bingo, like, honestly, it's like a fire. Like there's a fire breakout in the club. As soon as bingo's finished, it's like everyone just packs their bags up as if there'd been a fire in the venue. Is
it strange to you that the people you used to watch are now coming to see you?
No, I'm not being funny. I am bobbing it a little bit. I'm not gonna. But yeah, do you know what? This is like, in a way, this is kind of my worst nightmare, to be fair, because I love to watch singers, but I know what it's like to be on stage and have singers in the audience, because I almost feel that they're listening to everything and sort of listening, and I know at the minute I've got Barry White syndrome, so my voice is very low today, so those high notes are going to take a bit of a beating. But yeah, it's nice for everyone to come, and the numbers are going up, so I'm looking forward to it, but I'm going for steak afterwards, so I'm happy as Larry. So.
Just focus on dinner afterwards.
I'm focusing on steak afterwards. I'm going for a nice steak, yeah.
Are you going to have nice hors d'oeuvres? I mean, will there be sausages on sticks and things?
I don't know what they are, because there's a lot of people here that like all that stuff.
Cheese and pineapple, you can't
I'd
beat
have
it.
fish and chips in cones, me, if it was me. Or like an egg and chips bar or something. But this is the Dorchester. I think they'd shove me out the door if they knew what I wanted. Jam donuts.
Anything that's bad for you, basically.
Anything that's bad for you, yeah.
And dare I say, you're looking amazing. As we stand here and there's a man doing your makeup and your hair and all that, is this stuff fun to you? Do you love being glammed up? Because, I mean, one of the appeals originally on X Factor was that really wasn't your persona. When we look back at the prison days and all that, you weren't having a man doing hair and makeup before you were banging people up, were you?
No, I've learnt a lot from this guy here. This is Mikey. He's my makeup person. He's been my makeup person for ages. He's taught me loads, but I know he's going to hate me for saying this. If I had my way and it was my sort of world, in any sense of the word, I would make everybody go on stage in what they feel comfortable in. I would go on stage in a onesie.
And you're not joking, are you?
I'm generally not joking. When I did a social club once and I forgot my costumes and they allowed me to go on stage no, I didn't forget my costumes. I had to come home because my son wasn't very well, and they said that I could do the show and literally leave straight afterwards, and I had a tracksuit on for the show and trainers and a hoodie. It was the best night of my life. Love that.
What do the kids think about Mum at this point? I mean, because you made it, you're doing it, and you're still at it. They must be incredibly proud, or are you just Mum?
I am just Mum. My oldest just thinks I'm just Mum. She doesn't like to see me as celebrity. She doesn't like to ham it up a bit. She's 11, so she's like...
Got to keep you in your place.
Yeah, she's starting secondary school, so she's like a bit worried that she's going to get people come up to her and say stuff. And my son Tom, he loves it. He says that he's famous. He calls himself the famous boy, and he makes people watch videos of him on the telly. And my daughter, my youngest daughter, she knows my new album literally off by heart in the car. She's not even 2, and she sings it in the car. And she goes, "Mummy singing, Mummy singing." And it's like, if she's doing something and you put one of my songs on, she'll stop, or a video of Mummy singing. And yeah, so they're all dead proud of me in their own little way. But I always remind them that, you know, if they don't see Mummy for a couple of days, there's a reason behind it. It's because I'm working hard so that they can have laptops and iPads and go on nice holidays. So there's a sacrifice there, you know, that's involved in everything. And I've even said to my eldest one when she moaned she'd not see me, and I said, right, do you want me to go work back in a prison, and that way you won't see me because you won't be able to come to work with Mummy, and you know, you won't be able to see me or talk to me because I won't be able to take my phone in, so I won't be able to FaceTime you when I'm away. You know, and you won't be able to go on nice holidays. So the kids have got to have an understanding of why Mummy does what she does. It's been a busy few months, but hopefully it should start slowing down in the next couple of months. That is never going to happen.
Well, it's not going to happen. I mean, that's a silly thing to say. I mean, you're busy till the end of the year. You've got a new album out, and then you're going on tour. You did just come out of Chicago. Did you like that? Musical theatre doing the same thing over and over again. How was that different? Because on your live act, you're so funny and you're able to ad-lib. There's none of that going on in the middle of Mama Morton, is there?
No, none of it at all. And you've got to be on your concentration head has definitely got to come into play. But I love being in that musical. There's many more musicals that I'd like to do years down the line. So as long as I've got fingers in a few pies, I can do loads of things. I can do musical theatre, acting, TV, singing, and being a mum as well. So.
And then we look at all of your success, X Factor, sat here, having hair and makeup, about to eat Dorchester sandwiches. None of that compares to your year with Leicester City, does it really? Because that must be your greatest thrill.
Oh, gosh. And I missed...
This is the first time you've smiled in the entire interview. No.
I missed so much. I'm a season ticket holder, and obviously I was doing Chicago. So my husband went with my eldest, and he took some friends with him on my ticket, which I was gutted about, and I missed out on so much. I really did. But, you know, we did have a little party at the end of it because I went to Jamie's wedding, so we got to have a bit of a party with a few of the players. He's just making my neck feel funny.
Oh, I wish we were filming this. This would be a hoot.
We got to have a bit of a party afterwards. I'm generally so proud of them. I didn't think for a second that they would do it, to be honest. At the beginning, loads of people were betting on it, but no one had a clue that they would would do it. An achievement.
It's a beautiful success story, isn't it? And then we look at Vardy. You mentioned him. I guess for you, as icons go, he's pretty near the top, is he? He would be the equivalent to me of like Jay McDonald or Sue Pollard, for example.
What? So,
well, in my world, icons, yeah.
Well, I know him personally, so I don't see him as being famous Jamie, but I've spoken to kids because I've been doing some gigs where there's been kids and they come up and they go, oh my God, and they've asked me to sign a Jamie Vardy match attack card or something, and I'm yet to tell him that, but I just find it quite funny. Then they all look at me like, oh my God, you know Jamie? And I'm like, yeah, I do know Jamie, but he's just a normal guy. He really is. He's such a family man. He's lovely. He's full of banter. And he's a lovely guy. He really is a lovely guy. So.
And to be asked to perform at his wedding, I guess, is a great thrill on a friend level, but also on a professional level, because he could have had anybody.
I know.
He can certainly afford them, can't he?
He could have certainly afforded anyone, but it was more Becks that wanted me to sing at the wedding, and and I did, and I got to sing, and I got to duet with Shane Filan, so we sang "Flying Without Wings," which is their first dance. So. That was lovely. That was my wedding present to them. I got them a couple of other things, but it was a little wedding present for them, and I'm just proud of what they're both of them achieving. Becks she's pregnant with another baby, so yeah, they're proper all loved up and everything.
Are you done now with babies? Are there going to be any more?
No,
because I know
not doing any more. No,
you're done.
Yeah,
you're out of it. Okay.
He's been done.
He's been done, but does that mean you're done?
No, I'm not. I'm not having any more. He won't let me have any more. I
think you've got enough to do, what with the tour and the new album and all of that.
I know, but every time I see a baby, I get really broody.
You mustn't. Listen, I think you're phenomenally talented. That's the doorbell, which means you've got to go down and appear. By the way, you missed a bit on the left-hand side. Just work on that. You're gorgeous, you're talented, and you've got a phenomenal voice. Congratulations on being you. Really lovely to see you again.
Thank you. Thank you very much.